Right, let's start today's session. In the last lecture of ASP.NET Core, we were discuss about what is ASP.NET Core and application area of .NET Core, prerequisite of ASP.NET Core, and what is the IDE we can use for development of ASP.NET Core web applications, and then SQL Server Management Studio, and what API tools are required like Postman and Swagger, and code execution process differences in .NET Framework as well as .NET Core. And then compilers will be different in core platform, that is Roslyn and Core Effects libraries for faster rate of implementation. And also some technical terms we discuss: web page, website, web browser, okay, web server. And also we know that the difference between web applications and website also we discuss. In today's session, I'm going to start creating a new ASP.NET Core MVC project. So we are directly setting a project, okay? So in MVC controller. So without directly, also we can create a ASP.NET Core project, but not required. That is because by default in Visual Studio 2022, and there will be a template called create ASP.NET Core web application with model view controller, because we are directly discussing MVC onwards. So whatever the topics I'm going to discuss completely based on MVC pattern only, because in real time, most of the web applications which are implementing using .NET Core, which is related to MVC design pattern. First, we will start with ASP.NET MVC. Then after, in MVC, there are so many concepts are there. Okay, routing techniques, data passing techniques, model bindings, okay, validations, lot of things. Once we complete, then we will start with entity framework, which is database related concept. After that, web API, API creations. After that, identity, and then Blazor tools. These are all the process step by step need to be discussed. Okay. Now let's begin to create ASP.NET Core web applications. So how to prepare means, first we have to check Visual Studio Editor. Okay, so Visual Studio Editor is compulsory required. Visual Studio 2022 software. So let's flip to Visual Studio 2022 directly. So go to the Visual Studio, go to the search, type VIS Visual Studio 2022, you will be able to open. Click on Visual Studio 2022. So now you will be able to get for the first time Visual Studio 2022 editor tool. You are familiar with this already because you have completed C# as well as a SQL Server also. So this is the last step. You are learning ASP.NET Core after finishing C# and SQL. And you know about this Visual Studio. And in the left hand side, recent projects which I deal, which I'm dealing right now, it's there here. But I'm creating new project folder today with the name ASP.NET Core MVC application. Okay, so for that, I'm asking you to create new project only. If you have already project folder, then open folder or open project solution. But I want to create a new project folder. But before going to create a project, let me create one folder in my desktop. So that is in .NET 6 PM. Look at this .NET 6 PM already there, which is completed console application, Windows Forms and all. In this folder only, I'm trying to create ASP.NET application, ASP.NET project. Let's begin this. Go to open Visual Studio 2022. Okay. And when we open it, in the right hand side, you can see you are able to see create new project. Click on create new project. Once you click on new project, look at this. There is a template like C#.NET programming language. Okay. Give me one second. See here, C#.NET programming language. Completely, we are implementing the logic in ASP.NET Core MVC applications with C# language through only. And platforms, all platform or Windows, you can select, no problem. And we are working with what application? Web application only, not web API. Later, web API purpose, we have to select web API template. So we are working with web application. That's what web only. C#.NET. All platforms, web API. All platform, why means we are implementing .NET Core applications. Now, slowly come down here. There are so many templates are there. If you want to prepare Blazor web applications, we can use Blazor. Or you want to create ASP.NET Core web application with Razor pages directly, click on this. Web API, click on this. Okay. So Core Web API, click on this. All the templates are available. Okay. Razor library, if you want, you can click on this. ASP.NET Core empty project, you can click on this. But generally, for my previous batch, I explained all the things step by step ASP.NET Core empty project, which I noticed there, it's really not required. Okay. So that's what I recommend to you. Directly go to ASP.NET Core Web App Model View Controller template. This is my template option. So this is the option, sir. So ASP.NET Core Web Application in bracket Model View Controller MVC pattern. A project template for creating an ASP.NET Core application with examples of ASP.NET Core MVC views and controllers. This template can be also used for RESTful HTTP services. Look at this: Linux, macOS, Windows, cloud, anywhere it can run, no problem at all. And this is our template, sir. Click on next option after selecting this template and try to give your web application name. Okay. So I'm giving my application name is ASP.NET Core MVC application. This is my application or project name. ASP.NET Core MVC application. Okay. This is, and where I'm saving means I have already file, right? So let's click on the ellipse button to locate the file into system location, desktop. In desktop, I'm having .NET 6 PM folder already previously, which we worked for C# and SQL or Windows Forms, everything. So now I'm storing this .NET 6 PM only. After that, you can click on next only simply. And notice this, once you click on next, before going to create, you can observe this window. So what is the framework, target framework? .NET 8.0. This is .NET Core. 9 also there, but is not required. This 9 I'm going to discuss after few months later. I'll introduce 9 also for new students, new batches, but at this moment it's not required. Better to learn 8 only. So 9 is not available in fully loaded version. So that's what I'm teaching .NET 8 version. So, and no need to change anything here. Authentication type none. Configuration HTTPS means IS server integrated. So not required to change anything. As it is, you can able to go with. Okay. So .NET 8 Core 8 version here, ASP.NET. So go to click on create option. Once you create, you will see for the first time how the files and folders will be created. Today, I'm going to explain completely files and folder information only. I'll run the application, but most of the time I'm going to spend to explain files and folder, because if you don't aware of files and folders for this ASP.NET Core application, it is typical to manage it later. So you must and should aware files and folders, what is the importance of files and folder. Okay. Yes, for the first time when we create ASP.NET Core MVC application project, you will able to see this window here. Okay. So this is overview window. So click on close this overview window. And now you can see go to the Solution Explorer, which is in right hand side of your Visual Studio. Once if you move to Solution Explorer, there you can see there are a lot of files gets created. Okay. So look at this: connected services, dependencies, properties, www root, controllers, models, views. Look at this. Our main target is MVC pattern, right? Models will be there. All models you have to create here. Views will be there. All views we have to create. This is Razor views. Okay. Razor views means Razor templates only. And controllers means action method we need to write in controllers folder only, sir. Model view controller. App settings.json is there. Program.cs is there. Let me explain one by one. Okay. How it is. So first we will have the connected services. What is connected services here? First option I'm showing. What is exactly connected service, sir? Okay. So connected service means, look at this. Connected service means this folder provides a way for our application to connect external services. Means from this ASP.NET Core MVC application to external services like cloud, Azure, REST API, web services, database connections, then all we can include in the connected services. So connected services means from our ASP.NET Core MVC application to we can connect with any services, like either it can be a database services, database connections, Azure Cloud, REST APIs, and WCF services. Any services we can use. These all connected services will be available here only. But right now, when we expand this, what it is showing, sir, no service dependencies are discovered. Means I would just first time created application, no services are established so far, right? That's what no services are connected, it's showing. But later, when we prepare web APIs and database configurations, okay, and any services, that all connected services will be present in connected service folder only. This is the first folder. And first folder is, this is the root folder, our project folder. Okay, I need not explain about this project folder, I think so. Later, I'll explain about project folder also, just a moment. So this is connected service over. Connected service generally helps us integrate external functionality into our application without manual configuration. Okay, currently it is empty. So because no services have been added so far. Next, there is a dependencies folder. Dependencies means this folder manages all NowGet packages. See, sir, I need to discuss important thing is NowGet packages also. NowGet packages is nothing but it's a package library. Right now, we are developing ASP.NET Core MVC web applications. But in the middle of the development of application, all of a sudden we need some services or libraries. But all the libraries will not be available by default in ASP.NET Core. Some libraries we need to import it over the net. Over the net means you have to download it and use it instantly. So to download and use instantly, some dependencies are required. So now get packages, we can say that. All the packages will be available here only. Okay, now get packages means, for example, I'll tell you that right click on your project folder, simply right click on ASP.NET Core MVC application, go to the manage NowGet package option is there. Click on manage NowGet package. Okay. Now in this NowGet packages, there is a search box is available. Look at this search box available. You can search it. Suppose I'm going to search Microsoft, Microsoft dot entity framework, but better to go for browse option. It will be good for you. So browse option I'm going and I'm browsing here. But when we go to browse option, automatically IntelliSense option will be there. Just a moment, sir. Suppose I want to install Microsoft dot, okay. So entity framework I want to install. Then simply what I can do, Microsoft dot entity framework, I can click on it. Once you click on it, will ask you to install it. Here you can click on install. Very simple. Any library you can able to install it. Suppose here I am going to connect with my SQL Server database. So for SQL Server database purpose, Microsoft dot data dot SQL client I am giving. This is SQL client library here. So any library, any package, you can directly search it and install it clearly. This is NowGet Package Manager. Look at this NowGet system. So this NowGet Package Manager, through we can able to install required packages that are dependencies for our ASP.NET Core applications. So dependencies folder manages all the NowGet packages and SDKs. SDKs means software development kits, and .NET libraries and any third-party libraries that our project is depends on. That means it includes both built-in ASP.NET Core libraries and third-party libraries you might add later to enhance your application functionality. Okay, by default, the basic ASP.NET Core dependencies are these only, sir. Let me explain the basic ASP.NET Core dependencies. There, when we expand these dependencies, there are two things are there, right? What is that? Analyzer and frameworks. Okay, so these are the analyzers. Analyzers. What is analyzer here? Okay, so analyzer is nothing but we can analyze the things here. When we expand this, there are so many analyzers are there. Look at this. We can expand this. So many analyzers are there here. What are the analyzers here? Okay, so this is .NET Framework folder is there, analyzers folder is there. Let me give one message came. Okay, fine. Like you can see, analyzers are there here. What are the analyzers here? So analyzers are tools. Look at this, these many tools are there integrated into Visual Studio that analyze your source code while you are writing it. So it will analyze the code and whatever it is required, it will capture in the IntelliSense only. They help ensure code quality and identify potential problems. So coding standards, okay, identify the bugs and issues, provide improvement suggestions. These are all analyzers. If we delete these analyzers while writing ASP.NET Core code, you might not get proper information whether you're doing mistakes or not. So analyzers means code analyzers are actually. When we write the code, immediately pop-up windows will come in the bottom corner, right? That is analyzers. This will run in the background while your code and generate warnings or errors in the editor if they find something that doesn't conform to certain coding standards for test practices, then analyzers will help you regarding that only, sir. This is analyzers clearly. And there is a frameworks also there here. What are the frameworks? Look at this. There are two main frameworks are there here. You can see this. These are the frameworks mainly. What are these frameworks actually? One is .NET Core framework is there. Okay. So Microsoft ASP.NET Core, Microsoft.NET Core app is there here. So when we expand this, there are so many internal libraries also there in the framework, and Microsoft.NET Core also, there are libraries are there. So these are all frameworks actually. Okay, Microsoft ASP.NET Core, Microsoft ASP.NET, this is the main package is specific to ASP.NET Core applications, and it is having necessary libraries. This is purely ASP.NET related. This is platform independent related. Core related means core libraries only coming. So here core libraries means base class libraries or advanced libraries. Okay, code effects libraries will be there in this frameworks only. So right now we are using ASP.NET Core framework for developing ASP.NET applications. Next, I'm talking about properties window, sir. What is properties window here? So properties contains, this folder contains especially the launch settings.json. When we expand this, look at this, there is a launch settings.json folder is there. When we click on launch settings.json, launch settings means how your ASP.NET Core web application is going to be launched for the first time. So there are a lot of settings are there. You don't need to worry about this. Look at this in the settings. We are looking IIS Express. I said in the last lecture, web server is completely configured with what? IIS, Internet Information Services. This is web server, IIS settings only here. So application URL by default localhost port number 46170 and SSL port secured socket layer port is 44360. Built-in port numbers will be there here. These are completely apps launch settings.json. What generally launch settings.json means? This configuring how our application starts during development. It defines the environment variables and URLs and profiles, IIS Express profile, Kestrel profile, used to run project locally using Visual Studio. This is generally launch settings.json only. But there is one more file is there. Look at this. Let me close this launch settings.json. Don't disturb this because if you do editing, there is a problem for our application. Later with the flow, you will understand each and every code in launch settings.json. There is one more option is there. You can see app settings.json file also there. It is a global file which is available directly root directory. So app settings.json means this is application settings file. This file configuration file where we can define key value pairs for settings used throughout our application. So key value pairs means this is dictionary keys and values. Okay, default information, Microsoft ASP.NET Core warning messages. All allowed host means star means all host will be allowed. Okay, hosting models, these are all. I'll tell you what are the hosting models in next session. So app settings.json is there. This is the configuration file where we can define key value pairs for settings used throughout our web application. It typically includes connection string, means database connections. In future, we are going to handle with database coding while connecting with SQL Server. SQL Server connection string, username, password, okay, trusted certificate, all this information we can give in app settings.json only. It's a JSON file. Look at this JSON, JavaScript object notation. JSON format means we are working with ASP.NET Core application, which can run on any platform, Windows, Linux, Unix, and all. So JSON file is an open standard file. It can be understood by any technology. So our main intention is we are developing ASP.NET Core application in core platform, which makes platform independent style. Later part, if you run your ASP.NET Core application in another platform, it can be understand the settings clearly. That's what app settings.json will be open standard format only, JavaScript object notation. Okay. So it typically includes connection strings, login configuration, and API keys or any other application level configuration you need, then we can do in app settings.json. It follows a JSON structure and provides a centralized location for managing configuration that can be easily accessed throughout the project only. This is global file, we can call it as app settings.json. Application level settings, all we can do in app settings.json only. It will impact on your total throughout your project only. Next, there is a program.cs is there, observe here. This is the main file, sir, program.cs. Okay, in this program.cs, when we double click on it, this is the main file. Look at this public class program. It's a C#.NET class. Yes, complete coding. Even though you are developing ASP.NET Core project, MVC project, but run your project will be begin and run from what method? Main method only. Public static void main. So this is a C#.NET class program. Here we are having static void main string args. It is a main program. There are a lot of things will be there included here. You can see finally we are getting app.run. This is the main method. Run method means you are going to run this application clearly. Okay, I'll explain this. This is the entry point of ASP.NET Core MVC application. What is the entry point? Program.cs. Because the main method, in which class the main method is there, that is called entry point of the program I said. This is an entry point of our ASP.NET Core application. The program.cs file contains the main method. Yes, here having main method, which is where our application is going to be start. From here only it will start. It also creates the host for the application. Yes, it is going to be host for the application. So hosting means from how we can host our web application, hosting environments. This file configures the web server, that is IIS configuration, and the necessary middleware components that handle the request. Look at, sir, whatever we are using here, app.use HTTP redirection, app.use static files, app.use routing, app.use authorization, app.map control route. These are all middleware components. You will understand step-by-step procedure later why I'm using this middleware components. What is redirection? What is static files? What is routing? What is authorization? All. So the default route is map control route only. Route means URL. URL means when we run the application, normally website, www.flipkart.com/mobile/Samsung. Okay, mobile/Samsung means URL name only. So when we give the link to anybody like www.flipkart.com/mobile/Samsung, that link I'm giving, suppose they can use directly they can access directly Samsung mobiles from flipkart.com from mobile category. That is the link actually, URLs. Okay, so routing means we are going to use routing techniques. There are a lot of routing techniques are there. In the later part, you'll understand clearly. So this is the main program, main program.cs. So now you can see to run this ASP.NET Core application. So how to run the ASP.NET Core application means simply we have to click on the green arrow mark is there, HTTPS is there. Okay, to run this ASP.NET Core application, click on HTTPS or expand it. There are so many route profiles are there. HTTP profile is there. HTTPS profile is there, IIS Express profile is there, like this. So default browser, I'm giving, look at this Google Chrome only, web browser. That means whenever we run this ASP.NET Core MVC application, right now it will be land into Google Chrome browser only. Okay, or else you can hit function key plus, or else if you want to run ASP.NET Core application, simply you can press F5 button from your keyboard. Okay, or control plus F5 without debugging also we can run it, no problem. So this will open directly browser and display the output only, sir. Okay, so what is the output you will see? I will tell you what is the output. But look at this, only we talk about connected services, dependencies, properties. Okay, app settings program. What about model view controller and www root folder? I'll tell you later because this is MVC related. First, if you want to understand this MVC related, what is MVC? MVC architecture, you have to understand. That's what I'm not going to discuss about this. In tomorrow's session, I'll give you more detailed about MVC architecture, how the request and response is going to take place with diagrammatic representation. That's what I'm not talking about here, this one. And let's run this now. If I run this, first let me launch with HTTPS, okay, or IIS Express. What is the differences? Also, I'll tell you in the upcoming sessions. First, already HTTPS is there. So now click on the green arrow mark. So to run, you will be able to get the output clearly. How that output also we are getting, I'll tell you clearly, sir. What is the process? First main method C#.NET program is running, okay, which is in command prompt, related command prompt. Now we can see we got the output. I have not designed so far anything. Okay, no designing, no header, no footer. Everything is coming like this. Look at this. This is header section. My project name is present in ASP.NET Core MVC application. Home button is there. Even privacy also, privacy page also is moving. Look at this home/privacy URL names. Click on home. It is going back home only. So this is welcome message where it is there. Learn about these are the link is there and footer section also there in the bottom corner. This is footer. This is header. In the middle, the actual content is appearing like this welcome only. How this is we are getting, sir? This is local host. Look at this local host 7010 is the port number. Okay. So if I include in place of local host, can I include local host 127.0.0.1? Let me try, sir. 127.0.0.1. So is this correct? No, correct. Okay, this localhost IP address is wrong. So localhost IP address later we'll find out. First, right now we are getting. So look at this 7010 only there in the command prompt, whatever we have. So localhost 50302. Okay, this is hosting lifetime. It is there. There are some details are there particularly. So you should ignore this details right now at this moment. When we launch HTTPS directly, it is opening. But what about if I go through IIS Express? Let's select this IIS Express now. Now I'm changing my profile to IIS Express here. So when I run this, now it will be run directly IIS Express. Look at this. Okay, at this time you can see, is that open any command prompt window? Previously, when I use HTTPS, behind the scenes, one command prompt window is also open, right? That is directly running with localhost. So which is default server. But right now I'm going to use IIS Express. I'm exclusively run this IIS HTTPS is there here. Okay. So previously when I use HTTPS, that is local server, but this is IIS server only here. So IIS server is integrated with Visual Studio 2022. But you may get doubt how we are getting this output, sir. What is the process actually? Look at, sir, I said that when we run ASP.NET Core application, first time request goes to a program.cs. In the program.cs, what is the main method? This is the main method, right? So it will entry point it is. Okay. So in the entry point, forget about this all environment development. Later we'll discuss it all. So first you can see this is the app.map controller route is there. So what is the controller name? Home controller. Okay. Slash. What is the action method? Index method. So by default, home index method is going to execute. Where is this home controller? Just to go to the controller folder. for time being. You can see controllers expand. There is a home controller. This is home controller. What is the action method? Index method. So here in the program.cs, it will go to home controller first. In the action method, what method I have mentioned? Index method. So here index method is going to return the view. View is nothing but presentation layer. So what view is there here? This index method, when we call, what it return in a response to us? It return in a response to us view. View is nothing but in MVC pattern what? Presentation layer. Where is the view, sir? Where we design? Yes, automatically there is a built-in view designed. Look at this in the controllers folder, home controller.cs, how it is built-in available. So in the views folder, you can see views, controller name is home controller, right? Same name through you can find out the folder home. There is a index.chhtml is there, right? This is CSHTML, not HTML, CSHTML. C sharp and HTML, both combination will be there. When we double click on index.chhtml, you can see this. Title is home page and H1 section, welcome message, paragraph section, learn about, links will be there. Microsoft.com, ASP.NET Core, building web apps with ASP.NET Core. So this only we are going to see on the screen right now, already implemented. Okay, if I try to give welcome, not here, previously it was welcome. Let me run this welcome message you are getting, right? Just a moment. You are getting welcome message. Index page is coming like this. Okay, this is welcome message. But let me minimize this, sir. When I minimize, look at this. I'm not going to rerun every time browser, right? So I don't want to run. So I'm editing like this. Suppose welcome to DurgaSoft, like this I'm giving. But I have changed my text, no sir, index.chhtml. After changes, when we go back to browser and refresh it, is it going to be changed, sir? No. So how I can make changes means there is an option observe here. Whenever we do changes in the coding, after going to browser, when we refresh, automatically this changes has to be impact, right? Without rerun again. For that changes purpose, there is an option called hot reload option is there. Look at this in the top of the Visual Studio, hot reload option is there. Click on hot reload. After hot reload, now save changes. Once you save changes, go back to browser. Now you can see automatically welcome to DurgaSoft is reload option is there. This is the hot reload option. So this welcome to DurgaSoft, how we are getting means just because we executed program.cs in this default route pattern is there home controller. Inside the home controller, what action method? Index method. Immediately it will looking for home controller in the controller folder. Controllers, home controller. What method? Index method. When we execute this index method, what is the return type? I action result. Action result will be view only. View is nothing but it is looking for same view, index view in views folder, home folder because controller name, home folder name same, index.chhtml. We are getting this output only. If I do changes here, welcome only. Again, you can see hot reload option I'm going to use. And when we go back to here, and now you can see automatically reload this. This is hot reload option you must click. Automatically you want to reload your changes into ASP.NET Core. You must include this welcome only. So, okay, this is actually, but sir, it is okay. Welcome, learn about building web apps with ASP.NET Core. It is there in index.html, building web apps with ASP.NET Core. But how about this header? Nowhere it is there in index.html, ASP.NET Core MVC application, home, privacy, and below footer template also there. At the rate of copyright information we have in footer section. How this footer section, header section we got it, sir, again? Means the footer section, header section we got it just because the global file is there. Look at this ASP.NET Core MVC application, privacy information, footer header. Footer header is how it is coming. We don't have any code in the footer section, header section in index.html, right? So just because why it is available means there is a shared folder is there. Look at this. In shared folder, there is a layout.chhtml is there, underscore layout.chhtml. This layout.chhtml automatically footer header is there. Look at this. ASP.NET Core MVC application, header section and footer section also I'll show you. Look at this. This is the footer section. ASP.NET Control application, copyright information 2025, and the action method is privacy action method only. Okay, this is just because built-in template it is, where it is shared folder is there, shared. Inside the shared folder, underscore layout.cshtml is there. That impact over there like this only here. So this is the running process. Or when we click on this, default web page is opening, index.cshtml. Whatever we are doing changes, automatically it will impact. Slowly you will understand that. For the first time when we look it, it will be different look and feel, because ASP.NET MVC core is a multiple layer pattern. So we can't go for directly running like C#.NET programs. So every time you have to handle with multiple layers. In future, you will get more confused, but you have to be enough patience. Then only you can learn ASP.NET core applications easily. So it's not easy to handle with C# like SQL, because multiple layers are there and you must attend regular sessions. And also you should have enough patience to understand this and practice it. Then only you will become good at ASP.NET core. If you are irregular, undoubtedly it's not going to be work well for you, for sure. It's my make my word. If you are irregular in the sessions, one day if you skip, other day if you come, undoubtedly you will be in a trouble, big trouble, not in normal trouble. Okay, this is the depth of concepts will be there in ASP.NET. So if you understand, if you come to the classes regular interval period of time, and you have to practice well and understand the flow first, then you will be good at in your core web application development possible. If you don't understand here in ASP.NET Core MVC, later it will be trouble again when we go for web API, entity framework, identity, Blazor, all will be in trouble only. This is the main core platform to other further approachments. Entity framework, web API, identity, Blazor. Do you want to understand that? First, you have to know that MVC pattern properly. So that's what, if really wanted to become good at ASP.NET Core, try to be regular. So try to be practice well also. So without practice, you can't do anything. So this is program.cs. Okay, fine, sir. Later, when we go to this, look at this. ASP.NET Core MVC application, when we click on it, you will be able to get one global setting file again. So here projects at SDK, you are looking software development kit, Microsoft.sdk.web. There are property group, target framework is 8 framework, nullable enable, implicit using enable. So implicit enables, you know about this, because all the implicit usings like libraries majorly we are enabled means automatically it will be there. Okay, this is ASP.NET Core project file. Or else do you want to go with this file? You can also edit your project. Edit your project means right click on ASP.NET Core, and there is an option called here edit project file. Click on edit project file. Same thing you will be able to open edit mode. See sir, normally if you open this, click on this, it will open this. Double click on it will open, no problem. Or else you can click on right click on it, edit project file. Edit means you can able to disable, here also disable like this. All options you can able to disable, enable like this one. So this is the Microsoft.NET SDK framework. Okay. So in this case, Microsoft.sdk.web, which means it is in ASP.NET Core project with the web specific configuration and dependencies, what we are saying. This is Microsoft.NET SDK web. What is property group here? This section defines various project properties. Each property has group affects how the project is built and configured. Multiple property groups are there here. Okay, first one is target framework. We are going to use .NET 8 core framework. Second one is implicit usings are there. So implicit usings means automatical usings are there. And there is a nullable option is there. This line enables nullable references types for the project. This feature was introduced in C# .NET 8.0. Right now we are in C# 12. And it helps to prevent null reference exceptions by making references type like strings and classes and etc. And there are implicit usings means this is a setting is enabled. This feature introduced in .NET 6 version. It automatically includes commonly used usings or directives or assemblies like system.collections.generic, system.collections.asp.NET Core HTTP responses, system.link. All implicit usings can be enabled by default. Okay, so this is exactly property group option. Don't do any changes in the main settings.py file, sir. This leads to your project maybe not run well as we're expecting. Okay, so this is the total settings of file what we are running. Tomorrow we'll discuss few more information about this build, is development, static files, what is routing, all these things. After that, we'll start slowly development of MVC pattern. And majorly we need to understand ASP.NET Core MVC design pattern or architecture. So I'll give clarity ASP.NET Core MVC architecture with proper diagram. Then after we will start writing coding part only, sir. So this is total introduction part of ASP.NET Core Web Application project with files and folders. So that's it for today. Tomorrow also you can use same link. Okay. Tomorrow last, or else I will give you update tomorrow to use this same link or not. Okay. Otherwise I'll share my normal link like short link only, go to meeting link. Okay. Yes.